Iranian media described the U.S. as making excessive demands in the talks, while Iran insists on protecting what it calls its military gains from the war. It's also demanding a ceasefire in Lebanon be part of the negotiations. Let's go straight to Al Jazeera's Osama bin Javed, who is in the Pakistani capital near the venue of the talks. And we're just hearing, Osama, talks have finally concluded after a marathon number of hours. What exactly are you hearing?
Absolutely, Marlene. So it's been a historic day, and those marathon talks that have now concluded for some time now. We know that it has been extended by a day, but we're hearing from some Iranian sources that they have concluded after 14 hours, and has been the case in the entire day that they're exchanging expert texts, which is giving people hope that there is already a wider framework that has been agreed upon, and now those experts are going through the minutiae of how actually to go forward on this. Just to recap what we saw in the last 14 to 16 hours is the Iranian delegation arriving, then the American delegation arriving, the Pakistanis meeting them separately. And then, despite all of the differences that we heard, especially about the ceasefire in Lebanon and about the Strait of Hormuz, they went into those negotiations. The Iranians continue to insist about the unfreezing of their assets. And now, because these talks have been going back and forth, there's been very little information that has come out of that room, but the drip of information that we heard from our sources, there's been lulls, there's been highs, but the overall atmosphere has been described as positive. To discuss that further, we have with us retired General Zahid Mahmood, who is a security and defense analyst. You've been monitoring this the entire day. It appears that now there's going to be a break for a few hours as daylight is about to break here in Pakistan. What is your takeaway from this? Has there anything that have been achieved now?
I think the continuity, and this is a very positive sign, to be very honest. And this also shows that both sides are sincere in approaching to some kind of agreement, or they would like to lower down the temperatures of this war. So this also reflects, clearly reflects that they are willing to get to some settlement. But of course, there are few things which are very strategic in nature, like Hormuz is strategic in nature. Nuclear, we already have a history on that. So probably these are very important things. And then the Iranians, especially the way they have attached themselves, they're talking about the larger peace in the region. They're talking about the non-state actors also, other organizations, another part of this, this region. So they're talking about the comprehensive peace. That is the largest scheme for them. And of course, the people are also expecting that after fighting, are standing with a lot of courage, taking all this, all has happened to their militaries, their navy, their air force. Now this is the time if the national resolve has to be converted into the meaningful outcomes. So they're conscious of that. That's why President Khan is talking about the people of Iran, and probably they will stand by, and he's talking about that we will take these aspirations into the talks, and then we will stand by with whatever are the outcomes of the talk, and that will have the whole of the nation, approval to that.
Well, the U.S. president is saying that he's already won the war. He's destroyed their navy, obliterated their capability to do any air defenses. It appears that the maximalist positions have not changed so much during the day. So you're saying that it is a positive sign that they've gone into day 2 of these talks. What gives you hope that there will be some conclusion?
I think these are mostly, we should not be going further. These are speculations. No one is, to be very honest, very privy to what all has happened inside unless the whole thing is out, and we understand, we know what all have been decided. Till the time, I will stay positive, because this continuity is one sign, and then the kind of support which is coming, are the arguments which are coming from back home. They also indicate that they are looking for some kind of settlement. Look, to me, I think this is both the warring factions and even Israel. They have reached to the tipping point. Now, I think they want to.
Why would you say the tipping point? Because Israel right now has not agreed on a ceasefire in Lebanon. Its attacks are continuing in Gaza. There have been the latest statements talk about how they want to expand into Syria as well. So it appears that these two sides may have some sort of an agreement. But as Pakistani officials have been telling us that there are detractors in Tehran, there are detractors in Washington, D.C. And one diplomat told me that Israel is the biggest detractor of them all, which does not want peace in the region. But you're saying that they've reached the tipping point based on what?
You know, you can't. Israeli military is in the protracted conflict for a very long period now. So, the military is also, and especially this genocidal application, which we have seen in Gaza, that has impacted the psychological dimensions of their soldiers as well. So probably it's been for a very long period of time, and then there are feelings inside Israeli military also, and even otherwise, that this genocidal application cannot be implemented for a very longer period of time in all parts of this region. So this is one. And secondly, once Israel say that we will stand by with the efforts of United States of America, it means that they are giving their consent to these talks. So it means that this is flowing from that military. They must have come to this conclusion that our military has achieved the objectives, or even if they have failed to achieve the objectives, now they are looking for some solutions through these talks by keeping themselves attached with United States of America. That's why I always say that there is a talk inside United States of America. There have been discussions that this Israel is a partner, or this is a strategic liability. And I personally feel that this is becoming kind of a strategic liability for United States of America, which is a kind of a hurdle to pursue their objectives. Now, there's a larger sense that this war which has been waged, this military application by United States of America is not pursuing the political objectives of Americans, because most of the Americans are of this view that there were no imminent threats to, so this war has been waged against all the inputs from the intelligentsia, from the military, and so this is making this whole scenario confusing. That's why these talks are very important, and putting Vice President into this team, and he's leading the team, it means that with the new face, with the new approach, he's a moderate, we all know, and he has stakes in the future as well. So he would like to be a successful, to end at the successful outcomes of this.
Thank you very much. That's Retired General Zahid Mahmood giving you the view here from Islamabad. The Pakistanis have been playing a crucial role in bringing these sides together, asking them to stay for longer. And now they have been able to extend these talks to a second day. So it appears that we are going to see more talking, more negotiating, more arguing on these maximalist positions that we've been witnessing in the last couple of days. But it appears that the overall atmosphere is positive, and the Pakistanis are still hopeful that there is going to be a positive outcome.
OK, thank you for that, Al Jazeera Osama bin Javed. Then the Pakistani capital, hopefully you can get a little bit of rest now too. Well.